So, welcome back to the bee yard, guys. Today we're going to have a look at this hive that we requeened earlier, well, late last week, to see what kind of situation we have here. Oh, don't want fire coming out of my smoker, that's not good. There we go, that's better. So we're going to take a little look at these guys here and see if they actually need another box. I would suspect, given the number of young bees that I'm seeing here, that they probably do. So what we want to really look at here, wow, is whether or not we actually have eggs. So we're going to take a quick look at these guys. What I'm seeing here actually is looking pretty good. We're also going to test out this new smoker from Dayton and Company. Not a product placement. Just to see if she's actually laying, which I would suspect is beginning to happen. So we're going to move you over here. You're still not very keen on that other, so let's get my hive tool. If I start to see eggs, then I'm going to put a second brood box on. If not, then we have to consider robbing some eggs from one of the other hives, just so that they will create their own queen. So I am seeing a certain amount of activity. No sign of the queen so far, but if she's here, she's going to be on one of the central frames, preferably taking care of business, which is what we actually need. So what do we see here? Okay, I'm seeing brood that's hatched out. And I'm seeing, oops, I'll get that in a second. Okay, I'm seeing Varroa shit, for one thing. Seeing a lot of nectar. Okay. Let's see if our queen is. So I'm seeing them starting to lay down comb here. But I'm not seeing the queen. And I know she's in here. And it looks to me like they are actually eating their way out of here. So we're looking for the queen, who has a longer body than the drones and a longer body than the worker bees. So I'm not really seeing a whole lot from this one. That's fine. The rubber bands we don't have to worry about because they will chew their way through them when they're done. Oops, sorry guys. There we go. Please tell me that's not the fucking queen. go. I don't think that's the queen. Nope, that's a dead worker. Okay, so we don't really need the queen cage anymore, and I'm assuming that she is laying. Let me have a look on the other frames. So we've got wonky comb here, which is because when these frames arrive, they're not always waxed as well as we would like them to be. Okay. So if she is anywhere here, she's going to be on these two frames here. So this is a frame that I took from one of the other hives, from my nook, and what we're really looking for here is eggs. It's very difficult to see in this light. I've got capped brood, I've got bee bread, and I've got nectar. But I am not seeing, really not seeing much evidence of laying. Okay, let's have a look on the other side. This is a time where you actually need like a magnifying glass. Fortunately, I have one. And most of these cells look to be vacant. Let's turn this guy around and have a look on this side. Now, is that the queen down here? No, I am not really seeing any eggs. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I'm seeing larvae. This really is the hive from hell. Okay, I'm not seeing a whole lot, but then again, she's only been out of the cage for a couple of days. So let's put this back in here. Okay. And then we're going to so Let's have a look on this side. So we're slowly drawing out this frame. And again, we're doing some wonky comb. All in all, not really looking good for this hive. Can't say we didn't try. Okay, so that's very slightly disappointing. Never mind. Now let's put this here. Okay, so we probably won't put another brood box on these guys just yet. That's fine. Sometimes it's not unusual to find her actually on the lid. Don't see that here though. Alright, you're done. Oh, no, you're not done because I've left that frame out. So, what happens is if you don't put all the frames back, they will build wild and crazy comb all over the place. There we go. Now, yesterday they were bringing in what looked like white pollen. Let's see what they have today. Okay, now let's go and check our Russians. They seem to be coming along quite nicely. So again, we're going to give them a little bit of smoke. This is far superior to the Amazon smokers that I've had. Now these guys here are about ready another brood box. So let's see how these guys are doing. Okay. They haven't really even started. I am seeing some activity. So these guys are actually doing pretty well. Okay, so this isn't really telling me anything, so I really need to go and have a look at what's down here. Okay, what do we have in here? We have copious amounts of wild comb. I really haven't really addressed this is a much healthier hive in comparison to the other one. As you can see, they've shredded all this paper, so they'll take all this out of the hive when they're done with it, because bees, if nothing else, like to be very clean. So now you guys can have that over here. So they've propolized the crap out of the whole nest. So I'm not really able to get the frames out. Yeah, that's not happening. So. Now we can get this one out. Oh, come on, motherfucker. Okay, let's take this frame out. And then we're going to have a little look at how these guys are doing. Bearing in mind that this package was only installed 6 weeks ago, maybe? Yeah, it would be mid-April. And they didn't have any resources to speak of. These guys are actually doing very well. So we've got lots of nectar. Okay, lots of nectar on these frames, and then we have lots of wild comb that we've added, which essentially needs to come off. So we will trim this off. Let's put this here for a second, because this is stuff that we can actually refine and turn into, we can turn it, into wax. Come on guys, off you go. Here we go. Put that there. And then we'll get the rest of it off. Now we can look at this frame. We have got a lot of capped brood. We have got larvae and we have got eggs. So essentially the queen in this hive is doing what she's supposed to do. She's pretty much, we've almost drawn out this frame. They've got some honey there in the corner. So they are putting down resources, and there's brood comb there at the bottom. That's those large bullet shaped ones. Let's go around this side. Did my smoker go out? No, it didn't. Okay, so what do we have here? We have got here we are. So this is, they're laying down honey. Come on guys, let's move you along a little bit, because you don't really need to be making this. And this piece here. Seems like we've got half the hive on this. There we go. Yeah, you're trying to sting, but you're not getting anywhere, buddy. Yeah. It's a typical. So. Okay, so these guys here are doing really very well. So we've got more white honey here in the corner, got capped off brood, more honey. We do have pupae. And we have larvae and we have eggs. So with this particular hive, this is pretty much what I need to see. So these guys are doing fine, but I don't really realistically need to do anything with them. I can just leave them to continue to slowly develop. Right now. Okay, let's put this frame back in. This is a very tight fit. Get in there. Right, so do we have we really don't have do. Okay, let's just take this out. One of the issues we sometimes have with hives is that different companies will have different specs on what the appropriate frame size should be. And that can be a bit of an issue. As you can see here. Those ones just do not want to go in no matter what. Okay, so let's see if this frame will fit. No, it won't. Okay, you're in. Just. So, quite happy with these guys. I don't really need to do anything with them. There we go. These guys are doing... Hey guys, out of the way. There we go. Right. And then we can put this on top. Unfortunately, the odd bee will get squished. There's very little we can do about that. But these guys are not quite ready for supering yet. But they're doing okay. Now, the real test is going to be these guys here. Now these are the two nukes that we got from Hungry Bear, which is a local supplier. It's where we kind of scared the living daylights out of an Uber driver. Okay. So this was really... These guys are already supered, so let's see if we're getting any activity. Now we've got bees up here. I don't expect them to really have done a whole lot here. But they are starting to work on the frames, albeit slowly. So I think what we need to do with this one is maybe take the queen exploder off, because it can be apparently quite damaging for them. So we are going to take this off. And let's take the queen excluder off. Now looking at this second box here, it looks like these guys understand the assignment. So she's laying. Here we are. Let's have a look and see what's happening in here. Okay, what do we have here? This frame is actually quite heavy. Some of that is because it's anchored into the bottom. Okay, so we've got pollen and nectar on this frame. And in this, oh, this one's quite, yeah, they're pretty much drawn out the frame. Got capped brood, I've got larvae, I've got eggs. So we don't really need to see the queen, we just need to see evidence that she's been here. Oops. Now, is that the queen there? Why? Yes, yes it is. No, I think that's a worker. Okay, as hive inspections go, oops. Come on, oh, out you come. Alright, so what do we have here? We have got capped brood, we've got larvae, we've got eggs, and pretty much the same on this side. The little white cells there have got developing larvae in them, and the cells that have got something that looks like a grain of rice are the fresh eggs. Okay. All of which is very healthy. The queen is very probably in the bottom box. And let's see how we're doing here. I've got some yellow pollen coming in. We had white pollen yesterday, I have no idea what that was. We've got nectar. Yeah, these guys are doing, oops, they're doing very well. This is very good considering they came from a 5-frame nook and didn't have a whole lot of resources, and this is the second brood box. So these guys are actually doing, these guys understand the assignment. They are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Alright, so let's push all this back in. And then we'll put the frame back, but I think we're going to lose the queen excluder. And of course we want to maintain bee space, which easier for these guys to actually take the honey up to where it's meant to be. Okay, and we are going to put this back. So I don't think we really need to do anything realistically with this hive. They are coming along very nicely. The last hive to check is this one, and it looks to me like I've run out of fuel for my smoker. So we're going to pause the tape. So welcome back. We've got some more smoker fuel because these guys are usually as spicy as hell. This is like my champion hive because these guys have done exceptionally well since they arrived. So we're going to give them a little bit of smoke. We're also going to give me some smoke just to keep these guys off me. I have to say though, I am very, very impressed with the smoker. Alright, so we've got a certain amount of moisture in the hives at the moment, which is fine because they actually will drink the moisture, because like all carbon-based life, these guys need water as much as we do. So we have got honey supers with absolutely no honey, but that's okay because it's a little bit early for them to actually be producing honey, but they do seem to be very active. So I think we'll take off this off, and then we'll have a look and see what's happening in this second brood chamber. Look at the guard bees. We see you, motherfucker. Now, unlike the other hive, these guys don't seem to be building nearly as much wild comb. Seems like they understand the assignment a little bit more. Okay, so second brood box, and we are slowly drawing out comb. We're festooning here. So here we are closer to the centre of the hive, and we are very, very slowly drawing out comb. But we do have some capped off broods. We've got pupae, nectar, and we actually have some eggs. So quite happy about the queen in this particular hive because she's doing the job. Now, are we going to have... Oh, now we do have some wild comb at the bottom, because these guys like to do that. Now, what do we have here? Now, this is interesting because this is the beginnings of a queen cell, but it looks like they tore it open themselves. Okay, so we have got eggs, we've got pupae, We've got capped brood. We've got some drone cells there that look like those little bullet shaped things here at the top. Those are drones. So those are male bees whose existence is predicated on them fertilizing queens, and then after that they have no, oh shit, they have no function. Sorry guys. Beekeeping 101, don't drop the frames in the hive like that, you'll piss them off. So what do we have here in the center? So again we have eggs, pupae. Down here in the corner we've got a worker bee with pollen on their back legs. Same here, we've got drones. These ones with the heads in the cells are nurse bees, and it's their job basically to feed the larvae and the pupa. And then once they have completed that role, within I think between 10 and 14 days, then they move on to the role of guard bee, and then from there, towards the end of their lives, they move on to the role of forager. So the ones that you see pollinating the flowers are actually quite elderly. These are the ones that have come to the end of their lives. So let's push these frames back a little bit. So these guys are festooning. And we again have got a ton of wild comb in the bottom box. So we are going to remove that, because honestly it is extremely difficult to open the box when these guys cover everything in wild comb. I get why they do it, of course, because they don't want anybody doing what I'm doing, disrupting the hive. But it is a pain in the ass nevertheless. So let's have a look in the bottom box, because we haven't done that since these guys arrived. So the idea, of the smoke is it's supposed to mask the chemical signatures that tell them that somebody is coming into their hive. So we've got more wild comb here. So some of this I'm going to remove. So these are drone brood that were popped out of their cells when I took the lid off. So this one's taking her job extremely seriously. Go. So we'll put this over here with the other stuff that I took off wherever I put it. It was over here. That's okay, I'll find it. Alright, we'll put it here for the moment. These guys are like superstars. So let's take this off. The dead grubs, they themselves will actually take out with what's termed as hygienic behaviour. And then this stuff here can be removed and it can be turned into wax. Well, essentially that's where it is wax. But it also can be used as a kind of glue. Oops. Which means you could get the odd bee in the mix. Had this a minute ago, don't know what I did with it. The joy of being a beekeeper. Okay, so these guys are coming along very, very well. Let's take the rest of this wild comb off. There we go. So again, we want to take all this off, at least, well, most of it. There we go, that's a dead one. And then we can put this in a little bag in the house, and when we have enough we will render it into beeswax. Okay, so I don't think we really need to look at these guys. These guys understand the assignment. Not sure where I put that other amount of wax, but I'm sure it will turn up. These things very often do. So we've had the hive open maybe a little bit longer than we would like, which means they are now getting defensive and they are getting pissed. So we're going to put this hive back together. There we go. And call this done. I'll come back down here in another week or so and see if they've made any progress with the super. This year has been peculiar in terms of how far ahead we are with the bees. Come on, little dude, I don't want to squish you. Right, where is your... There we go, and we don't really need the queen excluder yet. Okay, overall, a fairly good, whoops, inspection. Alright, let's put this in here. Okay, so I was over here. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.